Reporting live from the JK Juices podcast. We worked really hard on our studio setup. We hope you like it.
A full rainbow for this.
Thank you for tuning in to our podcast.
Let's open a present.
We got a gift to open.
Let's do it. It just arrived today.
I feel like you might cut yourself with that.
I'm not going to cut myself. Oh my gosh.
Just be careful. Why are you opening it from the bottom?
Why not?
Today we're going to be breaking down the 3 most popular juicing methods from
Is this a note?
centrifugal to masticating to cold press.
I think that's a letter.
It does look like a letter.
Nope.
False alarm.
Okay, let's continue. Sorry, go ahead.
So this is one of the most popular questions I get. If you don't know who we are JK Juices. This is my sister Jordan.
Hi.
Let's give some credentials. We've been juicing professionally for about 10 years, since 2013. Blade remover. Be careful. I'm getting some weird vibes.
Oh, it is the plant shelf.
The plant shelf.
Hi, April. Hi. It is the plant shelf. Aw. Look.
All right, we are back.
Okay, after serving.
So this is a plant shelf. Yeah,
10
we just had a
customers.
nice little rush there. Afternoon rush.
I think so. Let's see what. Wow, a lot of words.
Ooh.
Hi, Jordan and Lauren. Sending you a big thank you. We love watching and learning. People have such great handwriting.
My handwriting is awful.
We're all awful at handwriting.
You're good at it when you want to be good at it.
I have to go so slow. Okay. JK Juice's education and 80 informative videos and posts.
Oh, thanks for that.
Bless your hearts. My sweetheart Rob has custom made for you these cool pieces for your X1. What? The gray handle fits on the triangle blade bolt for easy removal.
Yep.
Okay.
Alligator knob remover.
Alligator knob.
What is
the
this?
clear piece fits snug below the chute. No more splatter and waste when grinding.
Hold on.
The clear piece fits snug below the chute.
Yeah, I can see that. That's so
No more
cool.
splatter and waste when grinding into the bag. Wow. He's a miracle worker. Thanks again and enjoy. Oh, Amy and
the
Rob.
ingenuity I am talking about.
That's our alligator knob. It's actually an agitator knob, but in the unboxing video from years ago, I called it an alligator knob.
So now it's
so now we call it the alligator knob.
Thank you for that.
Wow.
That is a very thoughtful gift. Probably one of the most thoughtful gifts we've gotten.
Probably. It's a very...
I think it goes like this.
Or does it go on top of the X1?
It's right where you know how the Mini has a cover when you put down the...
Yes.
It's got a clear plastic part. I broke it a long time ago.
Yes.
This is for the X1.
Yeah.
So it goes straight into the bag instead of being more open. Very cool.
So it goes like this, right?
It sits kind of like this right under the... I'll show it to you. We'll definitely test this out. It's a fun gift. I'm assuming you guys have an X1 and have made this.
Yeah,
How
definitely.
would you get the measurements?
Definitely.
So cool.
Wow. Well, thank you,
cool.
Amy and Rob.
Such a special gift.
I love to get gifts. Aww.
So sweet. All right, let's get into our topic here.
What are we talking about? Lauren literally just said,
Drag Jordan out of
in 30 minutes, I'm going to need 10 minutes of your time. I'm like, okay, what are we doing?
We are going to break down the different 3 most popular juicing styles. We are professional juicers. We've got a lot of experience, 10 years in this industry. We've worked with all of these juicers. You guys know, you've seen our wide variety of juicing equipment here. First one is centrifugal juice.
Centrifugal juice. I've made a lot of centrifugal juice in my day. Okay,
First thing I think of when I think of centrifugal juice is speed. You can just crank out the juices. Most popular style you'll see in a juice bar is for made-to-order juice. You'll see these in Whole Foods in addition to their cold-pressed juices in a separate cooler.
Yep.
They also often have a juice bar made-to-order.
It's like your typical made-to-order juice bar setup is centrifugal. And that's how it's been done for years upon years upon years. And Goodnature has the M1, which is classified under like made-to-order too. But still, most made-to-order you're going to see is centrifugal. It's fast. It's kind of pulpy. It can heat up a little bit.
Yeah. Extraction is a little rough. As far as like fine extraction, you're going to have a lot of waste just because it is so fast. So The actual process is there's a chute that you put the produce in, and you've got like a plunger, and it pushes it against a blade and chops it, and then it spins it aggressively, which is the name centrifugal.
It uses centrifugal force to pull the liquid while keeping the pulp in the middle.
Yeah.
So, and then the liquid drops down.
So this is the most aggressive form of extraction when it comes to juicing.
You're not necessarily, it's not going to yield the most, but you make up for it with speed. So it can be actually quite efficient because it's so fast. Like you can just serve so many customers, even if your yield isn't as high, you know?
Yeah, so big pros to this is the speed. Actually, a few years ago, we had a juice bar from Detroit come and visit us, and they were on a centrifugal model, and they were asking about upgrading to bigger equipment, and the sheer amount of volume they were able to do on a centrifugal juicer to upgrade to a smaller cold press machine or even a masticating machine wouldn't have made sense for them because their output would be so drastically cut just because the speed of centrifugal juice is so fast. So they were making hundreds of juices in their sessions, just cranking them out and ready to upgrade. So we recommended they wait until they could upgrade to an X1 to still meet that current demand of juice. So.
Yeah, and you're also changing your business model then, because when you're making made to order, you're serving, your sales are based on how many people are walking in and ordering a made to order juice in that moment. When you're bottling your juices, you're taking it to farmers markets, you're doing delivery, you're doing juice cleanse packages, you're doing mass production for different types of distribution. When made to order is just people walking through the door ordering a made to order juice. So your options are much more limited with made to order. You are solely relying on foot traffic.
I have seen some people bottle centrifugal juice. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a known thing that it's not positive, and customers know more than you think they do. You know, some customers aren't going to know, but as you educate your customers and grow your customer base and gain more educated customers, eventually it's going to be like, you're bottling centrifugal juice? Like, that doesn't seem right to me. They're going to Google it, this or that. There's just so much air involved. It oxidizes so quickly. It's not best for bottling. It has a shorter shelf life. So you might be able to quote unquote get away with it, but it's really you're not serving your customers best through that option.
So that kind of brings us to the next style of juicing, which we kind of recommend this to entry-level juicers that want to get into a bottling kind of style of business, and that's masticating juicers. So masticating juicers are not cold press juicers. They're not.
They say they are, but they're not.
Every masticating juice company markets their masticating juicers as cold press juicers simply because they're referring to the temperature at which the process happens. It's cold in comparison to centrifugal juice. Yeah. So there is no pressing. So our X1 presses with 9 tons or even 9,000 tons.
I have no idea.
It's something absurd, but it's actually a hydraulic press. But masticating juicers have an auger that crushes the produce. You put it into the hopper, crushes the produce. So think about it like you're running over like a watermelon versus chopping a watermelon and pressing it. So there's a lot more damage done to the produce through crushing and grinding that produce through the filter. So it has a shorter shelf life than cold press, but a better shelf life than centrifugal. So centrifugal juice has a shelf life of about 20 minutes.
A lot of people say drink it within 30 minutes.
Like instantly drink it,
because it oxidizes so quickly. Yeah. Because the motor is so fast and it is just moving at such a high speed. Like it's so aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Yeah.
So masticating.
People are always like, isn't that the same as a food processor? It's not. It's just not.
I'm going to get there when we get to cold press. So masticating falls in the middle as far as quality and shelf life of centrifugal and cold press. You can get a solid 3-day shelf life out of masticating juicers, which is why we love to recommend the entry. Kuvings has an NSF entry level model that's always linked in the description of my videos. But it gets you into a bottling system where you can juice the day before and take it to market. You can make a lot of juice. They're called slow masticating juicers, but they're relatively quick for as small as they are. So you can really do a lot of damage with masticating juicers. You can make tons of shots.
The speed's comparable to the Goodnature M1.
Yes.
Yep. The Kuvings commercial and the Goodnature M1, their speed is almost the same, depending on what you're juicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also love masticating models paired with a frozen juice model.
Yes.
Because you kind of take out that 3-day shelf life altogether. So you can make really good quality juice on a masticating juicer, freeze it, and create a really big stock.
Yeah, and so some people get so hung up on, oh my gosh, this is such a slow juicer, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, the reality is you're doing the best you can with your current budget. And there are always phases. Yes. People always get caught up in this juicer is so slow because, you're going in, you're starting a business, you're investing $1,000-ish dollars into a commercial unit, and you're expecting lightning speed, and you get frustrated, and you're like, this is so slow, so slow. The reality is to go super fast, you got to spend $25,000 on a big cold press juicer. And so you're just doing the best you can with the current budget you have. And any time in business that you are frustrated, it's because your assets, you're dealing with your current assets and what your resources available. And so when you don't have a lot of money, you're going to sacrifice on time. You're going to spend less money because I don't have a big budget, but I have more time. So I'm not super busy. I haven't made a lot of money. I'm going to spend more time juicing because I acknowledge I don't have the money to get the huge efficient juicer yet. And then as you grow and you continue to upgrade, you're going to spend more money and get some of your time back. And then eventually you're going to spend a lot of money because you have the asset of money, and you're going to get a ton of your time back. And then you can also hire. You have the asset of money to hire somebody to juice or whatever. So don't get caught up. It's just how business goes. If you want to go on this journey, there's going to be times where you're like, this is frustrating. Yes, it's hard to grow a business. You have to sacrifice. You have to grind it out and just put in the work. I know, your phrase.
Keep grinding, y'all.
Keep grinding. So have your expectations realistic is what I'm saying. And a lot of people start their juice business and they just think for some reason this was going to be so simple. It's not. This is a labor of love. The main thing people are paying you, the main reason you're selling your juice is the service of labor. It really is. People are buying your juice because they don't want to juice at home. And so while you're doing that labor of love, remember, this is why people are paying for your product, and to charge appropriately, to cost out your products, and to be paid a good, amount. Make sure your juices are priced out correctly. So when you get those entry level,
popped off, y'all.
When you get your entry, we just hear it so often.
Yeah.
People they're like mad at their juicer, and it's like, this is what you get for $1,000 of commercial juicer. And in their mind, it's like, oh my gosh, I spent $1,000, and it is a lot of money. But you also have to think, to get the big one, it's $25,000. Sure. Like, this is all perspective, and it's just part of the journey. It's just how it goes.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
It's normal to be mad at your juicer. But you can have that be your fuel.
We often talk about growing pains are a good thing. And if you can't meet the demand, that's a good thing. It means your business is growing. So
power through.
Last style of juicing, our favorite, y'all know, is cold pressed juice. So there is nothing that compares to cold pressed juice. Mm-hmm. It is a style of juice that is so highly sought after that masticating companies market their products as
that's how you know it's good.
It's just so clean, crisp.
So clean.
Flavor extraction is just awesome. Mm-hmm. It's got a solid 5-day shelf life. Ours are even good up to a week. Mm-hmm.
And to where your customer doesn't even know this is a week-old juice.
Exactly.
That's how you know. You should be able to sell 7-day-old juice, and they're like,
they don't even blink
Was
at
this
it.
just made?
It's just so the extraction style is it's ground up with a sharp blade into a pulp, and then it's pressed with a hydraulic press.
It's like roughly chopped
down to like a coleslaw kind of style.
Yes.
And then pressed, and the extraction is just so good. So
good.
There's all different levels of cold press juicers. We use Goodnature cold press machines. We've used them for such a long time. Love them. They make a made to order style, very small. You guys have seen these. Mm-hmm. There's playlists for all of these juicers on the channel here as well. Mm-hmm. I like a mid-size one and then the big X one. So we use the X1. And we get a lot of questions on why I use a food processor. And the main reason for that is extraction. And I'll get the comment like, is this still cold pressed if you use a food processor? And my answer is always something like, there's a grinder on every juicer ever created that goes in a centrifugal motion. Where cold press is different is it's ground with a sharp blade. It's not ground, it's more so chopped. Yeah. So you're chopping the produce with a sharp knife. There's a saying, that says it's better to cut yourself with a sharp knife than a dull blade because it does less damage. So we're quickly chopping and processing the produce, and then we're pressing it with thousands of pounds of pressure, and it just really makes an awesome style juice.
Yeah, and you can tell the difference simply in the product it creates. Like, you can look at a cold pressed juice and you can look at a centrifugal juice, and they are truly not the same thing. They're entirely different. And your brain might go like, but aren't they kind of the same? It's like, kind of, but it also shows how important the details are, right? Like how important every tiny little step is, all the way down to how you're chopping your produce, right? What grinder you're using. That's why we often love the Samick, is because it's just kind of it's a different type of grinder, a food processor, where it really allows for optimal extraction. So
it gives us control over the extraction. And this is often why I always recommend to never market your masticated juice as cold pressed juice. Because if you get a regular cold pressed juice drinker coming into your shop or up at the market, they're going to tell within the first drink that this is a masticated juice. So it's just always that transparency of marketing what you're actually selling, and being letting people into that phase of whatever phase you're in is okay to be in that phase. You don't need to have FOMO of missing out on cold press. Celebrate where you are in that moment, and know that this is a journey. Share the journey, and one day when we get to that cold press, we're going to be so excited to share it with you guys.
Journey to celebrate, It's interesting because we always want to be where we're going instead of enjoying where we are.
The grass is greener.
Yes, and it's like every phase has its huge ups. Like, if you could compare it to like when we moved into our new house, I was so excited to move and I hated our apartment, But then once we moved, I looked back on the apartment and I was like, you know what? That's kind of nice. I kind of miss it at times. Like, you never enjoy where you are right now. You just want to get to where you're going. But enjoy where you are, and always it goes back to always serve something you love. Be confident in what you're serving. And if something feels off, like I just feel like I'm not doing the right thing, something's off, my gut is like, then figure out what that is, to the point where you're passionate and excited about where you are, to where you can celebrate it, Celebrate your masticating journey, celebrate your made-to-order centrifugal journey. We get people contact and they're like, I'm doing centrifugal right now, made-to-order. And maybe maybe you have a subconscious thought of like, oh man, but I'm not cold pressed, I'm not good enough. Wrong! Make that centrifugal juice, serve it up. Have fun making made-to-order centrifugal juice, and your customers get to drink it right there and see it being made.
That's
watch
so
you
make
cool.
It,
Like, that's awesome. You should be proud of that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I think that wraps up our podcast.
Does that wrap it up? I feel like I have more to say.
I think one of the biggest things that I would, like, if I were to talk to myself starting again, do you know what I mean? One thing is, like, if you know you're going to be really busy, and I don't know how you would know this, right?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Maybe if you're...
Just a little side tangent to that.
Yeah.
When we're mentoring and consulting and trying to guide you along which juicer to start up, we have no idea what your demand is going to be.
Yeah. You don't know what your demand is going to be.
Yeah, it's mainly dependent on your budget. That's what it comes down to.
And we always, always, always say you got to move at the speed of cash and do not go into debt for your business. Going into debt for your business is the quickest way to turn your business that is a blessing into a burden, and it just crashes you down. And so that's why it's so wonderful to start with a $1,000, $500 juicer. The Kuvings commercial. Make money. See, okay, we're doing this. We're doing good. Reinvest again. Okay, let's upgrade to the Goodnature X1 Mini. Okay, that's like a $14,000-ish purchase. And it's like, okay, good. We're making money. We're still growing. We're doing good. Now we can upgrade to the big juicer. And when you go at the speed of cash, you protect yourself from your fancy business brain. We all got that business brain that's like, I can do anything.
I'm going to take out a $50,000 loan.
I'm going to make millions and we're going to be so successful. When in reality, you just don't know that, right? So move at the speed of cash, grow slow. I promise you, whether you grow slow or you invest hugely, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you'll still be where your business is going, okay? If it's having multiple storefronts and this and that, you'll still get there in time. The journey will just be full of more peace if you grow at the speed of cash, and you'll be more confident. Peace and confidence. The other one is full of, oh my gosh, we spent so much money, we have so much debt to pay back, I'm so nervous, this is scary.
We got to make rent, we got to do this.
And the one where you go into debt, you waste time stressing that you miss out on opportunity that brings in more money. The one where you move at the speed of cash, you're so fired up. You've got this like, oh my gosh, the only way this is going to work is if I go and make money and I'm creative, and you find new opportunities. You actually make more money and progress faster because your brain is on fire to be like, yo, I'm the only one that's going to make this happen.
Doing this.
Like, we got to go figure out how we're going to make $14,000 to buy the X1 Mini. We got to figure out how we're going to make $50,000 for a shop reno, this and this and this. And you get creative. While when you spend other people's money, go into debt, get a loan, whatever, you're way more, this is all going to be good. We can just 30 here, 20 here, boop-a-doo. And it's like, we'll pay it back. We'll make money.
Spending
it's all
unnecessary
good.
money.
Yeah,
That's a whole different thing.
Oh, yeah. You'll just spend money left and right because you will pay it back. You hope you'll pay it back. So I just always recommend move at the speed of cash, speed of cash, speed of cash.
It's just more fun.
It's more fun. You're
grow
empowered.
so much. Yeah, as a person, you're the one doing it.
You want to have a baby and take a break? You just have a baby and take a break. You don't owe anyone any money. It's just chill and it's calm and it's peaceful. And you're entrepreneurial person. You know, you as an entrepreneur, which is going to do a lot more than just start a juice business, okay? You start the entrepreneurial journey, you don't just start a juice business. You start doing all these other things because you get the bug. You get the bug of I'm in control and I can serve people, offer products that help people win and make money. I can exchange products that help people for money, and that's like the best feeling ever. Like whether you're selling clothes,
y'all, it's dangerous.
It's dangerous. Whether you're selling a service like juicing, clothes, you're writing a book, you're whatever it is, you have so much to offer. In exchange, you get money for it, and that is entrepreneurship, right? It's a bug that you love so much, and it allows you so much opportunity, and all of you have that. So just move at the speed of cash and realize that this isn't just juicing. There's more to what you have to offer, okay? Mm-hmm. You've got a whole buffet of things you can do, and you only discover those if you're intentional about, I'm the one in charge. How can I make this happen? But
preach it.
The main thing I was going to say was it can feel like a waste of money when you spend $5,000, $10,000 on a juicer and you outgrow it, in 2 months. And you're like, man, I wish I would have just got the big juicer.
Yeah, I never understand that comment. Just because you have to go through those phases. You have to take those steps. You can't just jump up to the top of a ladder. Mm-hmm. You have to start somewhere, and you learn so much along the way. And you'll never appreciate that moment of rolling your X1 through the door if you haven't gone through using a masticating juicer, using a centrifugal juicer.
Well, I think you can appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think that you can say your great
just
auntie.
It's different.
Yeah. Well, let's just do the scenario. Say your great auntie dies and she left you $300,000, and you're like, I'm gonna pursue my juicing dream. Okay, yeah, it's like my great auntie blessed me with this money. I'm gonna start my juice business, and you got the money. Like you didn't go into debt. You got the money to spend and buy a big
some
X1.
people's budget is X1.
Yeah.
Right from the bat.
Yeah, and what I wanted to say was, if you do have the money, and you kind of have a really good feeling of this is going to be successful, but you can't trust that feeling. I just think that there is a place to go for the big X1 because, like, from the get-go, if you have the money.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
It's just going to make your life so freaking easy. That's what I'm trying to say. Is if you got the money, go for the big X1.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to be so thankful you did.
It's all dependent, just on your budget.
It's on your budget, yeah.
And the faster you can free up your mental capacity to be creative and to be an entrepreneur, the faster you're going to win. It's those, like, we used to spend 8 hours juicing on smaller equipment. Now we spend average probably 3 hours a day juicing.
Yeah.
So it gives us room and space and mental freedom to create and to do other things that really further our business.
Oh yeah, for sure. You gotta have time. We talk about this a lot. Is when you first start your business, you have all the time in the world to dream and to think creatively and to take notes and to stay up till 3 a.m. dreaming. And
Vision
what are we
board.
doing? Yeah. And that's such a critical time in your business. And then you start doing your business and you get so busy and you have no time to dream. And you're just exhausted and you're just juicing and juicing and juicing and juicing. And a year goes by and you're like, man, I'm kind of burned out. Like, I'm pretty exhausted from my business. And the reason is you've stopped dreaming. So you got to start outsourcing. You got to start hiring people. You got to free up your business brain, the one in charge of the business, and all the creativeness that comes from the business. You got to start dreaming again.
Yeah,
and
we
start
do
thinking.
this is something we do so well. We guard our time
Yeah.
very, very well.
Yeah.
We
don't do
go
any. Go ahead.
We have very limited hours here at the shop.
Yep.
Every other week, we both work a 4-day week. We do that very well.
We keep it intentional because we know our time and our dreaming power
It's very powerful.
It's the most important thing, kind of. Like, when we are energized and fulfilled and happy is when we are like, let's go do crazy things.
When we're fired up,
yeah. And then we go do the crazy thing, and we do it hard for a while, and then we figure out how to do this crazy thing in a really realistic way.
Efficient way,
yeah. Efficient.
We're very good at that.
Because we've said this a million times, but you are the secret sauce. A lot of people think, like, getting a college degree is the secret sauce. They think getting a certification. You the number of times we get the question, does your consulting come with a juice certification? Any kind of certification?
Yeah, like they're almost looking for an identity.
Yeah, it's like, you don't need a certification.
You just need you.
You just need you being empowered, educated, inspired. You got to have the info. You got to believe in yourself. You got to be inspired by those around you. That's what the magic sauce is. It's not a certification. It's not a degree. It's not a location. It's not any of this. It's just you believing that anything is possible and you're going to go for it.
Yes.
And you do that by protecting your time and making sure you're not burnt out. And educating.
Saying no to a lot of things.
Saying no to so much. Saying no to your customers. You know how many times your customers are going to suggest this?
Ask you for something.
You guys should offer this. You guys should come here. You should do this. And it's like, no. The answer is no, because I know what's best for my business. I know what's best for me and our family and how we're going to operate and what helps us thrive and what burns us out, right? And so you got to get comfortable saying no and having super healthy boundaries.
Yes.
So that you can operate at 110%, not 30%.
Yeah. When we're here and working, we are on for 4 or 5 hours straight.
Yeah.
But when we go home,
and then it's like rest.
off.
And then it's like, yo, last night at 4 p.m., I had this crazy idea.
I went for a bike ride.
I was enjoying life. And like, now I want to do this and execute this. You got to stay inspired, right?
Yeah, for sure. So the moral of that whole spiel is we want to build this beautiful, amazing, fulfilling life that we can work really hard at and be fulfilled as an entrepreneur, but also shut it off and just be able to go home and just enjoy playing in the garden for 3 hours and not having to worry about, oh man, we're $50,000 in debt.
Yep.
We have to do this. When you take on debt, it turns into work. You have to do this.
Yeah.
When you move at the speed of cash, it's I get to do this.
Yeah.
And it's just such a strong shift in momentum there as being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I mean, and Dave Ramsey, the scripture says, a borrower is a slave to the lender. And your work, because you are a borrower, you are now just a slave to paying this money back. Like, how sad is that? And
it really is that mindset of, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this.
My family's on the... One time I got this message from this lady who said she joined the collective, she kind of did our resources, and she said, I want to cancel my collective membership because we're just not pursuing this anymore, but I have to thank you because this was an idea I had, that my husband and I had, and from the very beginning, one of the first things she heard me say was, don't go into debt for your business because you have no idea where it's going to go.
Goosebumps.
I know. And she said, she basically was like, we were going to go into debt and really pursue this. And now 6 months later, it's just not something we want to do. And she said, that would have ruined my whole family. And it's like,
woo, I got goosebumps.
But what our goal with all of our consulting is to make sure your business is a blessing. And not a burden. And 95% of small businesses fail. And we don't want to steer you down a path of like, you can do this, go $100,000 in debt, let's go, grind. And then a year from now, you're like, I don't want to do this though.
It's not working.
We want to give you what we know. We want to consult you and guide you on what we know to the point where if you ever like, not for me, it's not a burden. You didn't ruin your family and go into huge debt. It's only a blessing if you're actively pursuing it and want to keep pursuing it and you don't regret anything from this. So
yeah, love it.
Anyways, always kind of the core of it because it's going to work for some and it's not going to work for others, and we don't want y'all to have regrets and ruin whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
So they say like we're never failing, we're just learning.
Yeah, oh my gosh, and the more I like kind of learn from people is, so say you take our consulting services and then a year from now you don't actually start a juice business. The other info you get from our consulting services, just life skills.
So applicable, yeah.
On like knowing how to treat people and like understanding how people work in this world, how to sell, how to build relationships, how to market a product, how to do money, understanding profit and loss and like gross profit, all of these things, that applies to like everything in life, your home life. I mean, it just applies to everything. So whether you start a juice business or whether your juice business fails or not, you gain something from it. And that's what I love so much.
Yes. All right.
All
We
right.
went off on a
Long
lot of
podcast.
tangents there. That was a full podcast. Maybe we'll do this again. We
will do it
we
again.
love a good chatty video.
We do. We're chatty.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.